Now, the gripping footage, what you just witnessed, was from the landslides in western Japan, which claimed the lives of 18 people and a dozen still missing. The Newsfirst International Desk will have a comprehensive report on this story. But a very good afternoon to you. You're watching Lunchtime News on MTV Sports. Let's first take a look at your headlines. Health officials belonging to 27 grades have begins a strike action today. Many patients inconvenienced. UN Human Rights Commissioner says that the United Nations will continue its investigations into alleged war crimes in Sri Lanka despite being told it will be denied visas. And on international desk, Liberia orders curfew and quarantine to curb the spread of the Ebola virus. Now on to those stories in detail. Health officials around the country belonging to 27 grades commenced a strike action this morning, citing several demands, including salary anomalies. Day-to-day activities of a number of hospitals were hampered as a result of the trade union action, while many patients were severely inconvenienced. Co-convener of the Joint Trade Union Alliance, Geetika Swarnalatha, noted that authorities are yet to respond to their demands. She noted that around 30,000 members of that trade union will be joining in the strike action. Activities at a number of hospitals were hampered as a result of the trade union action.
We haven't been issued numbers and we are still waiting in queues. How long do we have to wait? I have not even eaten anything since 10 last night.
The common man comes here because they are poor. How many people will be affected if they do such things? We came at 6 a.m. They haven't done anything. I'm here with my 2 children.
We can't leave, but we can't stay as well. There is no one to issue medicines. There is a huge crowd.
Newsfirst inquired about the matter from Additional Secretary of the Ministry of Health, K.S. Kiragala. He noted that steps are being taken to fulfill their demands. He added that trade unions have launched this strike action even after being informed about progress being made. Now, the United Nations has insisted its investigation into alleged war crimes in Sri Lanka will go ahead despite being told it will be denied visas. Earlier, President Mahinda Rajapaksa said the UN team would be refused entry because only Sri Lankan authorities could investigate the allegations. The UN decided earlier this year to investigate alleged crimes committed by the government forces and Tamil rebels. Sri Lanka has refused to cooperate with the Human Rights Council inquiry. But UN Human Rights Chief Navi Pillay said her team would be able to use technology like the internet phone service Skype and satellite imagery to carry out its investigation. She referenced quote-unquote highly credible reports on abuses in Syria produced by her team despite not being allowed on the ground and said they would be able to do the same in Sri Lanka. However, President Mahinda Rajapaksa has insisted that only Sri Lankan authorities could investigate the war crime allegations. The government has repeatedly denied that it committed war crimes and asserts that the inquiry is prejudiced. 27 complaints have been lodged with the Election Secretariat in the run-up to the Uva Provincial Council elections. The Complaints Unit of the Secretariat noted that of these complaints, 4 are reported to be of election violence. Furthermore, 4 complaints have been lodged with regard to utilizing government officers for political activities. The Office of the Election Secretariat noted that the relevant units have taken measures to address these complaints. Meanwhile, CAPE noted that they have received a total of 27 election complaints. National Election Observation Centre has received 14 complaints. Furthermore, police media spokesperson SSP Ajit Rohana noted that the election unit of the police have recorded 6 complaints. Meanwhile, a special mobile unit to provide national identification cards for persons who do not have IDs have been launched in the Uva province. This program is spearheaded by the Department of Registration of Persons and CAFE. The executive director of Cafe, Kirtita Nukur, noted that this service will be provided in several areas in the Alla Divisional Secretariat today.
We were able to provide national identity cards and other forms of identification to around 1,100 persons in the Uva Parnagama and Valimana Divisional Secretariat areas. It is clear that there is a clear lack of national IDs in the Badula district. We will be able to protect the rights of these voters only if we provide proper IDs to these individuals within 4 weeks. This mobile service is being held free of charge.
Time now for the battle for Uva.
We should change the political culture in the country. Around 20 million people could get together and without following the main parties, they could work to chase this government away and set up a more proactive government. Even if we come into power, you could do the same thing. This is the political culture we want to establish. We don't have any other government and we have no other leader other than Mahinda Rajapaksa. It is the same for Karundaniya and the entire country. There isn't a leader anywhere in sight. That is why even Minister SB came over to this side. I noticed during the graduation ceremony of the Wayamba University, almost all the girls present had gone to a salon to get their hair fixed and to apply makeup. This look has a price. This is not something we should be astonished about.
Facial karla, cream වෙන කෙනෙක් ලව්ව ගහලා කොණ්ඩයක් වෙන කෙනෙක් ලව්ව දාගෙන වෙන කෙනෙක් ලව්ව රෙද්ද ඇඳගෙන තමයි ඇවිල්ලා හිටිය උපාධි ප්‍රාණවස්සේ. ඒකට බිලක් තියෙනවා. ඒ නිසා මේක පුදුම වෙන්න දෙයක් නෙවෙයි.
If you vote for the beetle leaf once more, you will have to think about how you can earn money for one meal. The leaders who have created such a country are speaking about the miracle of Asia while taking your lives as a sacrifice. You should be properly informed. There are people who are saying that there is no good governance. Some of the members of the government are also supporting this. We should identify the hidden forces behind these actions. We should not allow such statements to spread. People launch protests. The officials and politicians identify who is leading this protest and give them a sizable amount as compensation. They give him a good meal and provide the compensation for him thereafter. He stops the battle. But then what happens to the compensation that should be paid to the common man?
The Department of Meteorology states showers or thunder showers can be experienced in the north, central and eastern parts of the island.
Weather forecast for 20th August 2014 should at 5:30 am. Several spells of showers will occur in the western, Sabaragamu and central provinces and in the Galle and Matara district. Showers may spread to northwestern province too. Thunder showers will develop at several places elsewhere during the afternoon or evening. There may be temporarily localized storm winds during the thunder showers. General public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize the damages caused by lightning activities during the thunder showers. I am Chana Rodrigo.
Now, before moving on to international desk, let's take a look at the city-by-city weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Now, starting off with international news, we have an update on the Ebola virus. The newly appointed UN senior official for Ebola, Dr. David Nabarro, yesterday warned that the deadly disease was adversely impacting social structures and that fighting it would require a comprehensive support operation between different agencies. Dr. Nabarro made these remarks while addressing a news conference at the United Nations headquarters in New York.
Is affecting how societies work. It's affecting the social setting. It's affecting economies. It's affecting governance. It's got humanitarian consequences. It's got political repercussions. It may have security impacts. And so a really comprehensive support operation is necessary that involves all the different assets, tools, capacities in our United Nations system.
And while the world stage debates on what should be done, Liberia has imposed a nighttime curfew and has quarantined an area of the capital Monrovia in a bid to halt the deadly Ebola outbreak. President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf said the curfew would be from 9 p.m. local time to 6 a.m. local time. She said all movement would be blocked in and out of the West Point area. A Liberian minister stated that 3 doctors with Ebola who started taking experimental drug last week showed remarkable signs of improvement. Information Minister Louis Brown said the drug was given to 1 Nigerian and 2 Liberian doctors who had caught Ebola while helping to save the lives of other victims of the virus. In a radio broadcast, the Sirleaf blamed her government's failure to bring Ebola under control on the public's disregard for the advice of health workers and disrespect for official warnings. Liberia already imposed a state of emergency earlier this month, but the numbers of deaths from the disease has continued to climb. Now, the extreme weather condition has impacted many parts of the world, but in Tokyo, 18 people were confirmed dead and over a dozen were still missing today after landslides in the western Japan city of Hiroshima caused by heavy rains. Japanese media reported that parts of Hiroshima city had seen their highest recorded level of rainfall ever, with some areas seeing 204 millimeters, that's around 8.03 inches of rain in just 3 hours. In 3 separate areas of Hiroshima city, landslides caused by the heavy rains pushed rivers of mud through people's homes. The city of Hiroshima had issued a landslide warning slightly past 1 a.m. local time, but many residents didn't realize anything was amiss until they saw their neighborhoods floating away. Japanese officials clarified that around 130 troops had already reached the scene and around 500 more were on their way. Let's now take a look at some events that were held at the Youth Olympic Games in Nanjing, China.
World Junior Champion Yukei Yamaguchi of Japan beat Mia Bedfeldt of Denmark 21-12, 22-20 in Group A, booking a place in the quarterfinals without dropping a game. Clara Azumeki Morenko of Spain took on Sabrina Solis Martinez of Mexico in Group G and confirmed her place in the quarterfinals with a 21-16, 21-13 win. Thai star Buznan played Alidia Chen of Netherlands in Group F. Buzanan dominated the game and defeated Chen 21-6, 21-8. The rowing competition of Jinwan continued in the single sculls on Tuesday. In the women's semi-final, Christiana Stiles from Belarus continued to impress, qualifying with runner-up Delcia Georgia of Bulgaria and Alejandra Alonso of Paraguay. In the second semi-final, Greek girl Atiana Maria beat Camilla Juliet of France and Sonata Pedriga of Lithuania. Dandy Groot of Canada won the first men's semi-final with Great Britain's Chris Lowry and Orlando Sotolongo also qualifying. The second semi-final was won by Germany's Team Ole, with Boris Yotov of Azerbaijan second and Poland's Matus Switz third. In late beach volley preliminaries on Monday, Pohebe Bell and Britt Kendall from Australia faced the Argentine pairing of Camila Hirula and Irene Veroso in Pool F. Argentina won the first game 23-21, then Bell and Kendall leveled the match by winning the second game 21-17.
And on that note, we conclude this edition of Lunchtime News. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Katharina Chang. Have a pleasant day ahead.
Hotline 0114-896-896. www.newsfirst.lk. Feedback at